Hey, America, Sean McGough here. You know me yet? I don't think you do. I know somebody does. Somebody's watching these. I think it's my niece. Anyway, I'll get out there one of these days, Viv. I'm trying to maybe work something out with my idiot brother and sister and have them come out and see you too. Ah, crap, this brand new thing. Anyway, where the hell was I going with this? Oh, yeah. I'm that crazy conservative from Boston. I've been doing some 1-minute stuff, just punchlines so I can remember the stories. Yeah, I tried to saving you all. I'm still trying to save you all. I don't know why. God tells me to keep going. Oh, yeah, I say I talked to God and Diablo. You don't have to believe me. I believe it. And I see a lot of people write books. They tell their stories and different experiences they've had. I've done a whole shitload of stuff in the last 2 years I never dreamed possible. God wants me to do a heck of a lot more. I tell him to screw. Sorry. If you're religious, you think I like the way me and him talk. We argue all day, but there's a long story behind it. I'll tell you another time. Like I said, I do these for me. God's saying, go ahead and tell it. Doesn't matter whether you're funny or not, just tell it. But anyway, where was I going? A lot of people would say, you talk to God every day. Yeah, God makes me happy, makes me want to dance. I listen, he wants to. That's a long story. He screws around with my technology. I had a video about it. It's way back somewhere. But anyway, sometimes I just let them pick. Him and Diablo. I keep Diablo with me so he ain't with you. I tell a funny story about it. It's long. And how they all work together. It's I like to tell stories. I like to tell jokes. I'm one of those people you run into who just has to bother you. Yeah, that's me. I call myself a guardian angel. I like to bring people's spirits up. These days I feel energy. I feel stuff that I don't know what the hell is going on. It scares me. Tell God it scares me. But you know what? I've read the Bible. Well, I'm back up to, I went through the Bible twice. Now I'm back up to book 22, I think. I forget. But it makes more sense the more you read the other books and the more you do psychology and the more you do. I've gone with Jordan Peterson and then everybody he talks about. Really, I got onto Jordan Peterson because of Andrew Klavan. Andrew Klavan and a lot of the people at Blaze TV, they wouldn't like me. Blaze, those guys are all religious in one way or form or another. And I guarantee no matter what religion you are, I'm going to offend you. No matter who you're screwing, I'm going to offend you. Pretty much no matter who you are at some point, I'm going to offend you. God says I'm an a-hole. Diablo says it's pretty funny. I can't say a lot of what he says. It's the worst joke you ever heard. But I know when he's there and I laugh, and he laughs. People say, why would you talk to him? I said, well, he's misunderstood. That's a joke I make. And they go, what do you mean? And then I go all into history and that. And that's a long story. Anyway, where was I going with this? I'm a failed comedian, I guess you'd call it. I always wanted to go on stage. There's lots of reasons I didn't. But I think I could have done well. I know I could have done well. I've seen it. Like I said, I've seen my life. God showed me. It showed me what would have went this way, that way, or the other. I got stories for all of them. I'll share them. For now, I just like to share the stories when I talk to people outside. And if I brought their spirits up, made them think about God, made them think about history, make them think about mainstream media and what they're telling people and truth and honesty and try to lead them the right way. I can lead a horse to water, but I can't make them drink. I was having a nice conversation with a woman, and I mentioned something about Twitter that somebody made a comment, and it was, I mentioned Elon Musk, and they're not left, right, or anything. It was, she went all on, he's such this, he's such that. I said, what are you talking about? Elon Musk doesn't know politics for shit. Guy's been a Democrat his whole life. He's been voting for shit that goes against his interests, and he doesn't even realize it. Now he's finally waking up. I said, what, are you kidding me? Oh, you like Elon Musk? I said, honestly, the guy's doing good right now. I think he's riding with God. He's fighting for the First Amendment. If you're fighting for the First Amendment and truth and honesty and the belief in God, yeah, but he could switch any moment and jump to the dark side. When you got all those evil people fighting against you, man, it's not easy to stay good. Sorry, Mr. Trump. I think he tried to get along with the evil a little too much, too. Is there still some savior in you? Well, if you get the nod, I'll vote for you. What can I tell you? Your age scares me. I like Ron DeSantis. It's you without the... I still like you. God says, Long story. Nobody listened to it. maybe you'd be in office if you listened to it. I still think I got the Secret Service following me somewhere. No, let me slow down a little. No, they turned into the parking lot. Oh, that's an old... One of the guys in my work, he's a liberal, and I love him. He's an old school liberal. He has common sense, and he likes socialist this, socialist... I'm like, dude, who's paying for all this? And what is it? You know, we talk politics, we talk everything, and he's the funniest kid. He laughs at all my jokes, but I always joke. I make a new joke now. I had an old one about would you pay $1, and I said, would you do a 2-drink minimum, even if it's soda? If you all the jokes I just told you, I had you laughing for 20 minutes. He said no. I said that's an honest answer. I like that. So then I started telling him jokes and leaving out the punchlines. So he's like, well, you didn't finish it. I said, I know it's a 2-drink minimum, and that went on. I was getting stuff. He was doing stuff. It was at work. Every time he went by, I told him another real quick joke, and he was like, what's the punch? I said, it's a 2-drink minimum. So this went on and on. He's a good kid. He's funny. Where the hell was I going with that? Oh, yeah, he was saying, geez, I lost like 50 pounds now. I'm lighter than I was in the Marine Corps, and I said, the only problem is gravity sucks. I'm nowhere near in that kind of shape. I wish I was. Maybe the wife would give me a little. She hates those jokes, but I don't care. They make me laugh. Anyway, and I ain't lying. So fucking, fuck, now I swore. I made that joke. Screw it. Anyway, he said, oh, there's a new gym. You should come with me. I want to check it out. It's MMA and grappling and all of this. I said, MMA? Dude, I'm in my 50s. What are you, nuts? I'm not doing any MMA. Are you crazy? Oh, no, it's McGraw, whatever. I don't care what Irish dude it is. I'm not learning that shit. And he's like, no, he started to explain to me what it is. I said, I know what it is. It's jiu-jitsu, and I'm not doing it. I'm not as dumb as you think I am. He's like, no, I just had my only kid lighten up. Then he's not, well, he's 30-something. But anyway, he goes, no, you could do it. You'll pull all these things around at work and push all this heavy stuff, and you can do it. I said, listen to me. Before I came to work tonight, I was watching Columbo, okay? The woman tried to run away, but she was in heels, and she wasn't going that fast. So Columbo stepped up his speed to catch her. And that's when I got a cramp muscle and jumped out of my chair and had to punch it as I ran around the room screaming. And my wife's going, what's wrong? What did you do? No, I'm not in any kind of shape to go do Krav Maga, whatever the hell it is. So anyway, he's like, you're a dumbass. I said, yeah, did we just meet? I've known you how many years now? Anyway, that's what I do. I try to make people laugh, bring up spirits. He believes in God. You know what? You don't believe in God, I don't know what the hell to tell you. God makes me feel great, but I tell him to screw. I know everybody thinks that's crazy. I tell him to go help people who have a real platform, and he does it sometimes. I know that sounds crazy to you, but I tell him to do certain shit. Why don't you go bother this guy or bother that guy? Next thing I know, there's some crazy shit going on. I'm like, cool, that's pretty cool. Should have made a video. Anyway, where the hell was I going? Oh, yeah, if you haven't figured it out, too, the VA says I'm bipolar. They're crazy as hell. I'm schizophrenic for sure. My id, my super ego, my ego, they don't know which order they go in. That's why I just put them out of order. They don't even know. They run around like a pack of wild hyenas thinking they're awesome. Fucking morons. Anyway, they throw jokes at me all day. I'm in the middle of a conversation and people think I lost track. I'm like, no, I just have 25 rebuttals at the same time coming for whatever the hell you just said. And none of them are going to make you happy, but they might make you laugh. Anyway, and it was funny. I was talking about the Isabel Gardner Museum. And, I just heard Kevin's Corner. Let me go back. Kevin's Corner had a preacher on. And he was talking about God and how he finds God in the clouds. And that's why I tell people, pay attention to the clouds. God's telling you a story. You just got to be able to have the patience and watch and look and learn. And once you start seeing different things, it'll come to you. And I keep pointing out things in the clouds. And I just got gas, $50, and I got 3/4 of a tank. Thanks, Joe Biden. Transitory inflation, my ass. I'm not even going to get into that business. As soon as you wiped out the whole freaking thing on day one, you screwed us, Joe. This is a pandemic all the way around. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. It's New World Order. Look it up. Check out Glenn Beck. I love talking about different people who I watch, who I check into their sources. I check what they're saying. You might not think the humor's as funny as I am. I love Kevin's Corner. I'd put him against any late night guy who's out there. I hope this is recording. I did test this, but anyway, what the hell was I saying? Oh, the three assholes are running around my head. They just want to perform, and God's letting them go. If you could see what's going on up there, I wish I had a radio so I could play something and straighten this shit out. I really need like 6 things going at once. This is a stadium, but this is legal from what I'm told. Usually when they pull me over, I say, well, I was talking to God, and they said, oh, you drunk or high? No, just high on God. They go, okay, sir, have a good day. I don't recommend you try it if you're high or drunk, because they're not stupid. They take a whiff while they're talking to me. All they smell is cigars, usually. Cigars and sweat. That was gross yesterday. I got yelled at by my kids because I dropped 6 pounds. I was out doing gardening. It got to be about 80 degrees. I had a t-shirt, a sweatshirt, and a parka. They were like, what are you doing? I said, well, I don't feel like going to the gym, because they lie. Those purple-haired people judge me all the time. I don't like them. Quit that gym. You know what I'm talking about. People are starting to look like they're from another planet. Don't judge my ass. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? Oh, yeah, therapy session. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm running through my week. Oh, Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, should have stopped. Don't even know if they're open. I'm in my old town. I like to drive through when I'm feeling God, bring it to him. And I also like to... My wife thinks I'm crazy. I went to Brockton. I had to take out some money and stuff, and God wanted a lot more for me. I know you think that's crazy. Everybody does. I said, nah, God, he showed me one thing, and I've seen enough. But in the clouds, he shows me things, and I try to bring up my humor and my jokes and try to point out things to people. It was mostly cartoons and crazy shit. And now I'm starting to see, that's why the Isabella guy, I went back and checked out the museum online and all the different pictures and paintings and whatever I could find. The rugs are the creepiest stuff. They speak the hell out of me. But then I'm starting to see them in the clouds, and when it turns into really weird shit, I look away and find something happy. But anyway, I tried to point out when I was getting gas, it looked like the clouds were turning into a stallion running. It was amazing. You could see the 2 hind legs, you could see the belly, you could see the beginning of and you could see the head forming with the mane. And I tried to tell this kid, check this out. And he looked at me like I was crazy. I was like, look, before it changes, look. Oh, Marine Corps. I always give them a United States flag, Marine Corps flag, and they do the transgender. And I'm sorry, transgender, that goes against God's will. There's a man and a woman. Marine Corps just did away with God. Good luck getting my kids ever. Well, I got 2 girls that ain't going in the military anyway. They're too smart. Not that you're dumb to go in the military. I'm just saying. With this administration, you're not smart if you put your kid in. Just saying. I would. That's me. But I'm not. Usually my wife gets crazy because I always wrap things around politics. Now I wrap it around politics, and then I wrap it around psychology. Like I said, I love Jordan Peterson, The 13 Rules for Life. I haven't really listened to him. I didn't read the book. I've gone through all his lectures. And basically, you listen to enough lectures, you get the whole damn book. And he's funny. And to me, they say he sounds like Kermit the Frog. To me, he sounds like comedian Jimmy Carr. And then when he roasts somebody, when they ask a question that's 5 minutes long and he gives them a 2-second answer like, no, that's insanity, I finish it with a Jimmy Carr ending. If you've ever seen Jimmy Carr, you know how he ends a lot of his statements. Anyway, that being said, it's usually the C word. Laughs in my head. God says that's not right. Diablo says that's funny shit. The 3 guys crack up, and then they start telling Jimmy Carr jokes, and we change them around and turn it into something else. It's funny because people say, you're a topper. No, I like to take people's stories. I hear what they tell me, and I dig into their lives, and I like when I tell my stories, and we all get a laugh, and we get along. Just so happens I talk to everybody. I'm a pain in the ass. I know that. I'm good for 10 minutes, and I get the hell away from you before you want to hit me. If you want more, then I stay more. I perform where I go. My wife thinks it's nuts. It is. But it gets my head straight, makes me happy. I make people laugh sometimes. I make people angry. Yeah, it is what it is. But, not all God's messengers are really that fucking good. I think I might be that guardian angel I had when I was a kid. That sucker was on crack, I think. Anyway, I got a lot of jokes about guardian angels. I've had so many in my life. You search them out, or sometimes they find you. And there have been people I talk to, and they're like, why did you pick me? Why did you talk to me? I said, God said you needed to hand up. You'd be amazed how many people say, how do you know I was just talking to God? I said, well, who the fuck you think I was just talking to? And they laugh. Anyway, and I tell them a joke about the devil, and they run away. I told this guy something earlier today, and I kind of spooked him, because right before he asked me for money, I asked him, about a cloud. I pointed out the cloud and told him a story, and then I talked about how it relates to homelessness and how, you got to be able to help yourself before anyone else is going to help you. And then he was looking at the cloud and he was like, oh, I see it. And then he looked at me, and then I made a comment about, Diablo says, don't get hit by that car. And he didn't. He turned around and there was a car almost about to hit him. I could have warned him earlier, but it wouldn't have been as funny. And he got scared and ran across the street. I don't think he'll ask me for money again, no. Anyway, where the hell was I going with this? Oh, yeah, I was walking with the dog, and they had a crew out there, and I think I mentioned this in another video. They had the convicts, and I was talking to another guy, and he was over there. He knew the police officer that was working, and he got to talking with some of the guys, and now he said, oh, yeah, I always talk to them, too. Tell them they're doing a great job, and some of them will tell you their stories, others won't. And I talked to this one guy, and I think he was in jail for attempted murder, but he was getting out. That's what they're all, on their way out, and they're doing something for society. It's cool. They're under watch, whatever. But you talk to a lot of people who say, I changed. I'm going to be a different person. I changed. And so I was joking with him, and I got into talking about how, the devil and God, they work hand in hand, telling him stories. And he was like, he showed me his tattoos, and he was in the gang, and how he got shot a few times. And I said, well, I've been shot at a few times, but I never got hit. I don't know how they missed my fat ass, but I never got hit. And so we just talked and stuff, but he told me, and I asked him if he knew Thomas Sowell. And he said, yeah, he actually did. And I said, well, maybe you're the reason that I'm here today. You're the guy I was supposed to talk to. And he asked me what I meant. So I went into a longer story, and we talked for 10 minutes, and the person who was supposed to move him along kind of was listening too. He didn't want to interrupt. So we would talk, and that guy was a good guy, but you just felt energy off this guy. Like, I know a lot of people say they want to change, and they found God, and everyone says, they're full of shit. Sometimes people find God, but Diablo is so much easier to swing you back. When you try to do things for God, and you try to be the right person, and right away, I catch Diablo quick when he wants to get me. Just like lighting this cigar that's bad. I've had 2 today. I'm not supposed to hit the 3rd one. God saying, go ahead. I'm going to croak anyway. That's not funny. That was Diablo. But if you heard the laugh, you'd know the difference. In my head. Am I nuts? Yeah, I've been locked up a couple times because of God. I was so excited. And yeah, I got high as shit too because of God. It's a long story. I didn't get high till some bitch told me to. Oh, don't call him that. Don't talk to him like I do, and don't talk to Diablo at all. He ain't nothing nice. He can trick you in a heartbeat. He hits me all the time. I got a lot of stories about it. It's sin. It goes back to sin. It goes back to the Bible. You go back to just plain old psychology. They'll tell you it's just your moral compass. Well, where the hell do your morals come from, you dumbass? Go back and read the Bible. It all goes back. Ain't nothing original. The more I learn about that's why I make jokes about wanting to blow the whole thing up and how God and the Diablo are pissed at me about it. It goes to politics, it goes to everything else. It's a joke. What I find hilarious is when I tell the joke to atheists and they get upset. Why would it upset you if you don't believe in God or the devil? I find that freaking hilarious. Sorry. And then I tell them a few more jokes and lighten this mood. I used to tell a lot of lowbrow humor, it's gone up a ways. I still do occasionally, but it depends on the crowd. Try not to swear, that's hard for me. But I've told the deacon the story about dealing with God and the devil, and he said, I don't recommend it, son, but that is pretty funny and interesting. I think you're twisted. I said, yeah, you're right, deacon. You ain't lying there. God says you're right, too. You're a lot closer to him than me. I always say the same thing when they're older than me in age, too. And they go, oh. Makes me laugh. Anyway, where was I going with this? How long have I been here? Holy shit, 20 minutes, and I didn't even say a damn thing that I wanted to say. I forgot what I was going to say. I got those three assholes in my head that run around like lunatics right now. We were listening to Michael Knowles earlier. We had so many jokes for the crap he was talking about. Kevin's Corner. Go check them out. Go Blaze TV. I can't afford to subscribe. My wife will kill me because I like to do scratch tickets and dumb things. And I don't really drink too much anymore. A little bit here and there. I'll have a taste. Unless I'm with somebody, and then I might not overindulge, but you know what I mean. But that being said, I went to a place, well, I told her somewhere else. It's even a joke. I had a lot of jokes for you. Most of my crap I'll do in 1 minute to remind myself. And then I got to think of the story. And yeah, the gist of the stories are always changing. Well, not the gist. The story itself's always changing. Depending on the audience, depending on whether I think something's funnier, I work them out in my head. The three guys work them out with me, God, Diablo, how we can put it all together. The more I learn, the more I investigate what I should have been doing my whole life, the scarier it gets, honestly. I saw one in the clouds today. It was that old, when you have the vase, but you're not, and it's a face on either side, but it looks like it's just a vase, or it could be a glass of beer, or it could be all these, whatever your brain or imagining. Oh, where'd mine go? Hey, come on now, that's Diablo. Come on. That's funny. But anyway, it was right in the clouds, and I was trying to point it out to people, but nobody wanted to look. I thought it was really cool. And then it turned into something sort of evil looking, and I didn't point that out to anybody. But anyway, stay around. Maybe I'll tell you some jokes. Maybe I won't. Sometimes it's just a therapy session. Where am I going with it? Yeah, my therapist might actually watch these. I don't think she believes in God. I don't think she believes what I tell her. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's tough to get through to brainiacs, you know? It's hilarious when I listen to people and they say Freud didn't believe in God, and then you go back and actually read what he said and listen to different things, and you go, yes, he did. Maybe not quite the way the books say, but yeah, I believe he did. Anyway, that being said, I didn't like Freud. I still don't like his sexual stuff. I think he's kind of creepy. Some is okay, some is all right. Some is just sort of creepy to me. But I like Carl Jung. A few others I try to watch. You want to laugh, I said it before, go check out some of these universities where the psychologists, professors have the pronouns. Some funny, crazy shit. I'm like, how are you the professor? Are you nuts? You're the crazy one. You need to be in the chair, not in the goddamn driver's seat here. But hey, that's university these days. Go ahead and spend all your money. I'm doing it with my kid, making me crazy. At least she's doing a job she can get a future in. She won't be a counselor or some stupid social justice thing that is useless. Here's a clipboard. Go ask questions. Tell people to sign shit that they don't read. Yeah, you don't think they... You better look at the stuff you sign people when you do all these things. Oh, yeah, here's this, and there's one more under it. You better look at what they have under it. It's just like politicians. There's always a rider that you didn't support, and now they're going to put it in session. They're going to put it into law. They're going to put it in... You know what the hell these people are signing? Anyway, I'm at one of my favorite spots where I find God. It's kind of crowded. But anyway, we'll see if Lefty's here. See what I said? I know it was nothing groundbreaking. Actually, I never will be, because if you go back and, like I said, do a deep dive into yourself, psychology, and the books, nothing's original. That doesn't mean it's not good. It's not done differently. But it's been done. Anyway, God bless.